If your doctor told you that a single daily habit was quietly making your prostate grow larger, would you believe them? Most men wouldn't. Yet, research from the Mayo Clinic shows that more than 70% of men over 60 have at least one lifestyle habit that raises their risk for an enlarged prostate, and almost none realize it. This isn't about rare conditions. It's about what you do every day without thinking. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal the most dangerous habit of all, one that almost every man I see in my practice has done, and one that could be making your prostate problems far worse. My name is Dr. Laura Stone. I'm a urologist with over 20 years of experience helping men manage and improve their prostate health. I've treated thousands of patients facing the same challenges you may be dealing with now. Today, I want to give you the kind of advice I share in my own office, clear, science-based, and practical enough to start using immediately. First, let's be sure you understand what the prostate is and why it matters, especially after 60. The prostate is a small gland just below your bladder surrounding the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of your body. Its main job is to produce fluid that supports sperm. As you age, hormone changes and chronic inflammation can cause it to enlarge, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. When it does, it can squeeze the urethra, making it harder to urinate, weakening your stream, and creating that constant urge to go, often waking you several times a night. Some growth is natural with age, but certain everyday habits can make it much worse. Let's start with one that surprises almost every man I meet: drinking water the wrong way. Many men cut back on fluids, especially in the evening, hoping to avoid nighttime trips to the bathroom. But chronic dehydration makes things worse. Without enough water, urine becomes concentrated, irritating both the bladder and the prostate, which can trigger inflammation. Over time, this irritation contributes to the very symptoms you want to avoid. A 2019 Mayo Clinic study found that proper hydration spread evenly throughout the day reduced urinary symptoms in men over 60 and even improved nighttime comfort. The key is sipping regularly from morning to early evening. Your goal is pale yellow urine, not too dark, not completely clear. The second habit is prolonged sitting. Retirement often means more time in a chair reading, watching TV, or on the computer. But sitting for hours without moving reduces blood flow to the pelvic area. Less circulation means less oxygen, and fewer nutrients reach your tissues, encouraging swelling and slowing recovery from irritation. Even gentle movement can help. Research in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that just 30 minutes of walking daily improved sleep quality by over 30% and eased urinary problems. Stand up at least once every hour and take a short walk or stretch. Those few minutes add up. Now for diet. Eating too much red meat and processed food is the third habit, quietly increasing inflammation in your body, including in the prostate. Processed meats like bacon and sausage contain preservatives that promote low-grade inflammation. Studies from the National Institutes of Health have linked diets high in these foods to increased inflammatory markers. This inflammation doesn't just affect your heart, it can worsen urinary symptoms. I'm not telling you to give up steak forever, but try limiting red meat to twice a week or less, and replace some meals with fish, poultry, legumes, and vegetables. The fourth habit is holding your urine for too long. Maybe you're watching a game or in the middle of a task and think, "I'll go later." But when you ignore the urge, your bladder overfills and stretches, putting pressure on the prostate. Over time, this can weaken bladder muscles, increase irritation, and aggravate symptoms. The fix is simple. When you feel the need to go, don't delay, especially if it's been more than 2 hours since you last urinated. And now, the most dangerous habit I see: using your phone, tablet, or laptop while sitting on the toilet. On the surface, it feels harmless, but staying seated in that position for longer than necessary puts extra pressure on your pelvic floor and prostate. Blood pools in the veins of the lower pelvis, increasing swelling and discomfort. For men with an already sensitive or enlarged prostate, this is like adding fuel to a fire. I once treated a man in his mid-60s, let's call him James, whose urinary symptoms had suddenly worsened. We discovered he had a routine of reading news articles on his phone during bathroom visits, often sitting there for 15 or 20 minutes. When he stopped bringing his phone and kept his bathroom time short, his symptoms improved within weeks. My advice: leave the phone outside the bathroom and treat each trip as quick business, not leisure time. Now that you know these habits, how do you start changing them? That's where my 3-2-1 approach comes in. 3 changes, 2 exercises, 1 food to support your prostate. First, the 3 changes: hydrate evenly throughout the day, without flooding your system late at night. Move every hour, even for just a few minutes. And limit red meat and processed food. Second, the 2 exercises: Kegel contractions to strengthen the muscles that support the bladder and prostate, and gentle hip opening stretches to improve pelvic circulation. Finally, the 1 food: pumpkin seeds. They're rich in zinc, which supports hormone balance, and contain compounds that help reduce inflammation. In the second half of this video, I'll show you how to put these steps into a day-by-day plan you can follow, so you can protect your prostate and improve your comfort in just a matter of weeks. Let's take these habits and turn them into a simple plan you can live with. Knowledge is powerful, but only when you act on it. The truth is, change doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Small, deliberate steps will make a real difference for your prostate and overall well-being. I recommend starting with a 7-day reset. This is not a crash program. It's a gentle, practical challenge that will help you feel improvements quickly while building a foundation for long-term health. Over these 7 days, you'll focus on the 3 changes, 2 exercises, and 1 food we discussed earlier, but you'll do it in a structured way. On days 1 and 2, focus on hydration and movement. As soon as you wake up, drink a glass of water to rehydrate after the night. Keep a water bottle nearby throughout the day, sipping steadily rather than drinking large amounts all at once. This keeps your bladder from being overloaded while ensuring your urine stays pale yellow. Stop drinking about 2 hours before bedtime to help minimize nighttime trips to the bathroom. Alongside hydration, build in movement breaks. Set an alarm on your phone or watch for every 60 minutes. When it goes off, stand, stretch, or take a short walk around the house or yard. Even these small breaks keep blood moving through your pelvic area, reducing congestion and swelling. On days 3 and 4, shift your attention to diet. Choose 1 meal each day to make anti-inflammatory. For example, swap a breakfast of bacon and eggs for oatmeal with blueberries and a handful of walnuts. Replace a lunch of processed meat sandwiches with grilled chicken salad drizzled with olive oil. At dinner, try baked salmon with steamed vegetables instead of steak and potatoes. Reducing processed meat and red meat intake will help lower inflammatory markers, which benefits not only your prostate but your heart and digestion. You don't have to be perfect. Focus on consistent, small improvements. By days 5 through 7, add in targeted exercises and stress reduction. Start with Kegel contractions. Tighten the muscles you would use to stop the flow of urine. Hold for 3 seconds, then relax. Do 10 repetitions 3 times a day. These strengthen the pelvic floor muscles that help control urination and support the prostate. Next, incorporate a gentle hip opening stretch. Sit on the floor with the soles of your feet together and your knees dropping outward. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply, and repeat several times. These stretches improve blood flow and relieve tension in the pelvic area. Stress management is also crucial. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which can increase inflammation and muscle tension in the pelvis. Take 10 minutes before bed to focus on slow, deep breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 6 counts, and pausing for 2 counts before repeating. If you enjoy journaling, write down 3 things you're grateful for at the end of each day. Gratitude practices can shift your focus away from discomfort and toward what's going well, improving both mental and physical health. Now let's talk about the 1 food from the 3-2-1 approach: pumpkin seeds. They're easy to add to your daily routine. Eat a small handful as a snack or sprinkle them over salads and soups. They're rich in zinc, which plays a role in testosterone metabolism and immune function, and they contain antioxidants that help combat inflammation. While they're not a magic cure, they're a simple, enjoyable addition that supports the other changes you're making. Once the 7-day reset is complete, your next step is to keep going. The goal is for these changes to become part of your everyday life. You may find that your symptoms like frequent urination, nighttime awakenings, or weak urine stream begin to improve within a couple of weeks. For some men, the change is noticeable in just a few days. Others see gradual progress over a month or more. Either way, consistency is what matters most. It's also important to track your symptoms. Keep a simple journal where you note how many times you wake at night, how often you feel urgency during the day, and any discomfort you experience. This not only helps you see your own progress, but gives your doctor valuable information to guide your care. If you notice significant changes, whether improvements or worsening, it's worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Another key factor is communication. If you're taking medications for prostate symptoms, talk to your doctor before making major changes to your diet or exercise routine. These lifestyle adjustments are meant to work alongside medical care, not replace it. In fact, men who combine healthy habits with appropriate treatment often get the best results, enjoying reduced symptoms and greater overall energy. Remember that every man's body is different. Age, genetics, underlying health conditions, and lifestyle all influence how your prostate responds. That's why listening to your body is so important. If a certain food seems to trigger symptoms, reduce or avoid it. If an exercise causes discomfort, modify it, or try a different approach. Your goal is not to follow a rigid set of rules, but to build a sustainable, supportive way of living. One of the most rewarding parts of my job is seeing the transformation that happens when men realize they have more control than they thought. I've seen patients in their 70s who struggled for years with constant bathroom trips, only to experience real relief after making these simple changes. They sleep better, have more energy, and feel more confident leaving the house without worrying about the nearest restroom. That's why I encourage you to start now. Don't wait until symptoms get worse. Begin with one change this week. Maybe it's drinking water more evenly. Maybe it's taking hourly movement breaks. Once that becomes a habit, add the next change. Small steps are easier to maintain, and over time they add up to big results. And remember, protecting your prostate isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about preserving your independence, protecting your sleep, and maintaining the quality of life you deserve. Each glass of water you drink at the right time, each walk you take, each healthy meal you choose is an investment in your future health. So here's my challenge to you: choose one habit from today's video and commit to changing it for the next 7 days. Pay attention to how you feel. Then come back and let me know your results in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to take that first step. If you found this helpful, there's another subject you need to understand, because even if you change your daily habits, there's a private part of men's health that can still have a big impact on your prostate and overall well-being. It's something most men do but rarely talk about, and doing it the wrong way after 60 can cause problems you might not expect. In my next video, I'll explain exactly how to do it safely and when you should seek medical advice. Click here to watch Urologist explains how to masturbate safely after 60 and when to seek medical help. Men's health.